Me, 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 me. Hello, and welcome to another episode of How I Turned My Art and My Tinfoil Hat into a Weird Little Desk Bunny. My name is Kaz, and you're in Little Moonseed, where I love to share my arty adventures and make simple, weird things from all sorts of crafts. Today, we're making a labbit. This does look like I'm making some kind of fat pizza. This is a mound of leaves. Why a labbit, I hear you say? Because my brain says it has to continuously make things that are a little bit dark, despite the fact that it may sound like I'm reading you a cute little children's book. And it looks like I completely know what I'm doing, which is to say, you could be forgiven for thinking so, because this is the story of how the labbits came to be in the land of Little Moonseed, and the very first one to escape from the dastardly clutches of Professor Celsius. Eventually, labbits will look like this. The first labbit was 001. So, the labbits were extremely cute creatures, minding their very own business on the outer borders of Little Moonseed. Meanwhile, a sinister evil professor by the name of Professor Celsius was paid $1 gazillion to make people that became wealthy and famous for no good reason whatsoever think they look more amazing by smearing the latest gloop upon their faces made by squashing radioactive gleeps into a fancy-looking jar. Little did the monster Professor Celsius know that radioactive gleeps are not to be trifled with, and they are very unstable in a good way. No freaky labbit can be without a freaky carrot that the labbit has already started to eat. I know, I'm sorry. This is not G-rated, kiddies. So, anyway, these little gleep beings have the powers of levitation, electricity, and a whole heap of tenacity when cornered, or when they choose. These gleeps can only be found in the very centre of the canklenut tree, which is a mysterious glowing candle tree that is said to have many intriguing powers that only a few creatures can, and actually should, obtain. The evil professor, upon finding the knowing of this tree, crossed the borders of Little Moonseed and set about to steal as many gleeps as possible on the fullness of the moon, which is when the gleeps are recharging. And he used his one labbit, who he named number 001, to test out his terrible gazillion-dollar idea. Unfortunately for Professor Celsius, the gleep formula did not work as anticipated. This would not gain the professor the power, money, and notoriety he hoped to claim from his invention. As he was attempting to create a new batch of horrendous gloop, the little gleeps banded together and made a hole in the wall of the laboratory, using the last of their radioactive glow to help 001 to flee the confines of the professor's lair. So right now, I'm making a labbit. I do like bopping things with the boppy tool. It's possible that you have already noticed this. Maybe I should call it ventacrafting, because, you're like venting and crafting at the same time. Anyway, on with the video. So, after fleeing the confines of the professor's lair, 001 wasn't a number. He was something powerful and wonderfully strange, living free in the heartlands of Little Moonseed with all the gleeps. This little labbit one day would free the other labbits with the help of the good, kind Dr. Pastrami, as the evil professor would not give up his plan. That is a tale for another day. So you may be surprised to know that I am not an expert or a professional. Since I began a Tube, the one dead pickle in the jar of otherwise tremendously tasty pickles that thwarts me from making any progress whatsoever is that I only have a small amount of an idea of exactly what I'm doing at any one time. So, the rest of this video is me just attempting things and trying them out and seeing what works. However, I've always thought that a good person to learn things from is a person that is only a few steps in front of where you are. I hope you remember that when I realize that I need to remove all of these teeth that I am putting in here in a few minutes. So of course I need to poke holes in its eyeballs, and you cannot have a labbit without labbit ears. And of course, it's got to have buttocks. Everything looks better with buttocks. This guy, I don't know. I'm not feeling you. I think I might change the teeth. But I do like his butt. We're going to persist. Let's just see what happens if we take out some. Oh, your whole jaw's gonna fall off. Okay, let's see what happens. You know, we can always put things back. Oh, actually, I kind of like that. Anyway. Oh, you like grandpa now. I apologize. That was terrible. Oh. I think if we have little tiny teeth. Oh. Dude, you can't eat teeth. All right, let's try. One. I mean, maybe. I think at this point, it's just what it wants to be. Let's just go with that. It needs a little bunny nose. I mean, you're weird, but I love you. After much more bobbing, the ears go on, and I think it's coming together. Definitely happy I changed it. So you got to have a tag that says that you're 001. So I have been using the liquid Sculpting glue to put in as well underneath that wire. That will help to hold it in place after it's baked. And got to add the little carrot. I mean, he's so freaky, but he's so cute. This ended up being a little bit of a balancing act, but it worked out in the end. Persistence. So I think I needed to add on a little bit more around the outside there. And added a few more leaves. It does look a bit strange from the back, but nah. Let's paint it. So I started off making it black to get into all his nooks and crannies, especially the crannies, and then I made it brown because I didn't want to do like a white labbit. I wanted to just do like the kind of brown labbit that's everywhere, and that ended up being a little bit too brown, so I have changed it later on. But look at the carrot. I think I just need to make more carrots. And going in with a lighter colour over the top to highlight everything. Always looks super great. I am really glad that I changed it to make it lighter. So there it is. Dun-dun-dun! What do you think? Should I make more carrots? Should I make another vegetable? That is the question. Boop. He's all done. Yay! I kind of like him. Except, I wish I had some more glow-in-the-dark polymer clay for the gleeps. But that's okay. But I really like the carrot. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad that I made him, and I hope to show you some more of the labbits sometime down the track. But first I have to do my spanky stick that I'm making for Bloomhilda the Witch, and that shall be out next week because I am not giving up on that. New challenge, not to give up on things. Have an amazing day. Thank you for watching, and your support means a lot. I hope you don't give up on whatever you think you want to do, because you've only got one you, right? The you that is you, there will never be again. There'll never be another you. I feel like there's a song in there. There will never be another. Bye. Beep beep. Beep beep.